free. If you want to see an additional 5-minute preview of this next Ultra Vegito episode for free, just sign up to my manga newsletter, mangaletter.com, using the links in the description or pinned comment, and simply enter an active email and your name, and it will be with you instantly after for free. So make sure to check your spam, junk, or other folder if you don't see it. This is a treat for every one of you who cannot afford the Patreon, so enjoy. With that said, not only would the angel have stabbed his giant sword into the ground, as if ready to show he fights nothing like the rest, but conversely, Vegito would engage back his own energy blade, as the masked angel would then let out, "You do know I've been watching your every move against those four, don't you? Using the same technique on me will only lead to your failure. I warn you now." To which the God Killer would just respond, "Thanks for that, but I think I'll take my chances. I've killed more angels with this thing than you could ever imagine. It didn't fail me then, and it won't fail me now. So be it, God Killer. You were never one to heed warnings." As just like that, getting into fight stance with one arm behind his back and the other facing the back of his fist towards Vegito, the angel named Shin would be ready. "You talk like you know me already. I guess my legend travels further and further. I should hardly be surprised at this point. Interesting fighting position too. Maybe you will be some fun." As Vegito 2 would then get into the classic fighting stance of the prince himself. "But that arm in front is just begging to be cut off!" As like a beast, jumping straight into action and closing the gap instantly. All while, Shin would leave his palm out unmoving. All things would be going for Vegito until... Swiftly moving his free hand from behind with the faintest of touches, Shin would gently move away Vegito's devastating attack, almost parrying it before... With a full power palm strike right into Vegito's ribs, the weakest possible point on his torso, Shin's reply would be complete. What was that? Sending vibrations all through Vegito's body as he would struggle with the sharp pain against his most brittle bones. The attack then sending him backwards like a rocket, delayed almost completely, replicating Vegito's earlier attack last chapter. But regardless, eventually, Vegito would crash abruptly onto the ground by his backside, dragging along for quite some distance, creating a small moat until he would finally stop. Lucky hit! But near immediately, of course the God Killer would be back up, struggling, but getting up on one knee, clearly annoyed that he'd finally been touched. But as he would finally get up, now holding on to his damaged side, he would whisper as his head would duck down, "Lucky hit, but there's definitely some power behind you. How you're hurting me, even as I am now, not bad at all." but nowhere near good enough. As lifting his head finally to show a return of his smirk, the God Killer would continue. Guess I can finally show a little more of my new powers. Unless you've got more to show me, friend, this will be the last thing you ever see. As Shin, almost with a look of having seen what a Vegito power-up would look like before, would already prepare himself, mentally remaining quietly until... With a deep breath of air let out by Vegito, his open hands would immediately clench and... In a beastly roar, Ultra Vegito would finally begin pushing his power up further, powering up in an instant a purple raging aura that would burst all over, all while a demonic red lightning to match his red seraphim eyes would trickle at all points of his body. With his muscles exploding in size as he would do so, the God Killer would be ready to go in for one final angelic victim. And as his powerful transformation would continue to rage on, blasting thunder in all directions of the battlefield, Shin alone would remain standing, completely at home and with no fear of what was to come. But as it would come close to an end, he would whisper, "And so, the rematch begins." But with that strange final line concluded, out of nowhere, in an instant with speed far surpassing anything he had shown before, Vegito would emerge with 3 concentrated balls of highly condensed energy, each at his fingertips, all pinpointed at Shin's mask, which would not go unnoticed by the angel. Get that thing off you! Let's see that pretty face of yours! As soon with Vegito's battle cries, it would be clear what the God Killer was attempting to do, to unmask the so-called Shin and show to us all why this mystery stranger angel seemed so familiar with him. Cocky as always, but with unmatched insight and speed surpassing even Vegito, Shin would duck down and pass through Vegito's attack in a blur, penetrating his defenses and if you want more, the next video is already up live on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 plus incredible patrons who are getting early access episodes for life, as well as actively seeing hidden Ultra Vegito content. And if you want that too, head to my Patreon to see the full next video and see just what insane turn of events happens next in yet another very long episode. So join now and talk to me. Links are in the description and pinned comment.